Hey friends and family, welcome to Marcie Creates. This is Marcie. Welcome to week 3 of our goddess series. Today we're going to be making a necklace and we're going to be using the Jesse James Beads Artemis, Greek goddess of the hunt mix. And I love the card, it's really beautiful. I did look up Artemis, a lot of us are familiar with her, but just as a reminder, or if you did not know, she is a Greek goddess of the hunt. She's also considered a paradoxical goddess. She's not only the goddess of children, or childbirth rather, she's also the goddess of chastity. She's the goddess of protection of animals, but also hunting. And legend has it that she is the daughter of Zeus and Leto, who I believe was a giant. I think I have my mythology right. I did find a nice website explaining all about Artemis that I will put in the description if you want to check it out. It's pretty cool. It goes much more into detail, but I like to know what we're working with here as far as goddesses, and that is the gist of what I found out there. Now today, so the mix has these beautiful kind of neutral peaches and pinks, really soft pink. And of course we have some some arrows. And then I had a Pantone 2024 bead mix called Tender Peach that has these really pretty pearls and the sparkly beads and rondelles, so on and so forth. And then I also just grabbed a handful of bead caps from my stash to work with. But everything that you see over here is from the mix. So I've already put some things together. I am going to show you how I did that. But just for the sake of time, I got kind of started on it. Mainly because I just don't want the video to be so long. You can always, of course, pause it and come back to it if it's too long for you. But basically, for this piece, I'm going to show you how I made that. I took the really pretty, this is a really pretty tassel, and I didn't realize there was a bead on the inside of there, so you could actually hang something again from there. But I took one of the bead caps from the mix, this really beautiful bead cap, and I used some wire, and I just attached, and then I just did a stacking technique with some rondelles and bead caps and that really pretty blush peach colored pearl. So that's how I made the focal piece. I have some chain here. We're going to be hanging this from some chain, and then we're going to have some dangles. That's what these are. And this whole necklace is going to be wire wrapping. Not going to use any string today, but I wanted to just use a lot of metal. I think of hunting, bow and arrow and all that. You do want something more, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like more protection, more metal. I don't know how else to. I got like armor, I guess is what I'm thinking of. And then this beautiful boho bead came in the mix, and I added some crystals from that little bead mix I showed you and some more rondelles, and I'm going to show you how I made this piece. So I basically took some 18 gauge wire and let me see if I can move you down just a little. So right here I marked on my bead board, I made some little marks because I was experimenting, and this way you can make the same, and you can use a ruler too, but if I'm ever can't find my ruler, which is all the time, haha, I probably have 500 rulers around this house, and of course I find them when I want other things, but when I need them I can't find them. So I just cut a bunch of these to the length that I knew was going to work with this, but I had to play around for a bit. So I have lots of extras here. which I'll do something with on another project probably. But see, that one was too small. And to get this look, you're going to use bail making pliers. And I just took the bigger of the smaller set of pliers, and you're going to make, let me see if I can pull this up just so you can see. You're just going to make a loop like a P on one side, and then you take your bigger bail making pliers and you put the big, you put that right there, and you're going to go in the opposite direction. And then, so now you have one side. And don't worry about, you can always tap on this later to make it smoother. I mean, stronger. But that's what you have. Then you string your beads on however many you want. And that trick is to know how much room. So that's why I had to play with that. But you're basically going to put, I'm just going to put a few beads on here. We're not keeping this, but I just want you to see how it goes. So then you're going to put whatever beads you want on there, on here, and then you're going to make your loops again. Let me grab that. So now you have that. This might be close, we'll see. These are different beads, so. Now see, this is a little bit too small, but I took this piece and I just bent these this way, so you can still get away with that. And now it's curved, so you can play around with that. When you get sizes that you like, you can mark the side of your beadboard like I did, or make a note of, I gotta take these off because I'm gonna use them. You can note, like in a notebook or something, if you're one of those that, I should be organized and do that, but I don't. maybe next time. But however or you can mark your ruler if you have a ruler. Just so you know what sizes you want for whatever type of loop type thing. And these components are really cool because you can stack them, you can connect them. I highly encourage playing with the wire and the bail making pliers and try to make yourself some simple components. So that's how I made this piece right here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to attach some chain. I've got some cable chain, and it's going to hang down this way. And then we're going to have drops in our pretty tassel piece, and then the arrows. And I was thinking of paradox, you know, and I thought, well, the flowers and the arrows kind of are paradoxical looking. So that was why I chose to do that. And then we're going to wire wrap stations of beads or individual beads to make the necklace. And I've got a lobster claw here and more chain so that we can connect it. And I may grab some more of these things up here. Like, I love these. Aren't those gorgeous? I absolutely love those. So I'm excited to get started with this one. This one I did a little pre-work before, just so, again, the video was not so long that you're going to be snoozing on me. Hopefully not. You never know what dramatic thing might happen while I'm making this anyway. So stay tuned for that. And I wanted to thank you all for the birthday wishes. I had a great birthday. More about that in a little bit. And so for tools, what we're going to need today are some wire cutters, round nose pliers, which these are new. I got these from the Jesse James Beads website, and they're by Beadsmith, and they feel really nice. So I'm going to be using those today. And probably some bent nose, possibly. Oh yeah, bent nose for sure. I don't think I need these guys, but we'll see if I have to get into some tight spaces. I might have to use those, but really that's it. We're just gonna, most of this is gonna be wire, so cutters, round nose, and some bent nose. And the gauge of wire I used to make this piece was 18 gauge. I find that that's pliable enough to make the loops, and it's not as hard to work with as like 16. 16 is really thick, and also you got to keep in mind the holes in your beads, if they're going to fit through that wire or not. So just FYI on that. So yeah, so I am going to work on this piece right now. We're going to connect it in just a minute. I have a couple of pieces that I'm going to add with the jump rings, namely the arrows and this piece down here. And then I haven't decided. I'm going to pull a few more out just in case. I have to see how, sometimes you have to see how they're going to hang, these guys. So I left them open. I didn't close them all the way just in case I want to wire wrap right on the chain. So we'll see how it all goes. And this is going to hang from this beautiful boho bead piece. So first things first, we're going to find the center. Oh, and I have a bunch of, this is 20 gauge wire. I have a bunch of pieces already cut in some lengths for our wire wrapping. I just got those ready. So we want to find the center of our chain. I did make sure earlier that it was odd links. I like to do it this way. Just put one end and the other end, and then you see the little link that's hanging. That's the exact center. So we're going to attach our little flower piece to that. Now, I could have wire wrapped right on it, but I was trying to keep all this together really tight, so I thought it would be better just to make it ahead of time and then add it. But you could do it either way. I was just trying to make it a little bit easier on myself, construction-wise. So now let's see. So then what I do, let me pull this up here. While it's hanging, I'm just gonna grab that bottom piece and put my jump ring. And then we'll add our dangle. And I love this bead cap. It really makes it look like a flower. Very sculptural. So that's on there nicely. Can take that off. So now I'm just gonna I just wanted to see how it's hanging. So now we want to figure out where we're going to put our arrows, and I think, let me see here. So we have the one link that let me scoot this in just so you can see what I'm doing. Let me move this up. Okay. So we have this jump ring that we just added to this link. Let's see how many links we have. from this center link, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so I think maybe we'll go up. Maybe we'll go up to the 5th one and see. Let's do one side and we'll decide. And this is not gonna, this is gonna be spread out when it hangs a bit, because this piece, it's gonna hang from these little loops. There we go. It's gonna hang from those loops. So these arrows should hang pretty nicely on the 5th link. So let's try that. Let me back out just a little. Let me get my jump ring ready. And I said 5, right? Right, I think I said 5, the 5th one. Oh, and I'm using 2 of these bent nose. I think I just showed you one. All right. So let's see. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So that looks good. So let's do the other side. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been nice and cold everywhere, I think. I think that's the 5th one. We've been really cold here. On my birthday, it was 10 degrees. Well, the night before. So the night before my birthday, which was actually last Sunday, my niece had said to me, we want to take you out for sushi, which I love sushi. And there's a place by her apartment, apparently, that's really good. Well, it is really good. We've eaten there, so now I can say that it was delicious. But it was really, really cold. All right, so, and more about that in just a minute, but let's see. So, I think I'm going to hang these dangles from the link right before the one I'm putting on the focal piece. So for that, I am going to do a wire wrap loop. Yeah, so anyway, we met at 8, and I guess the place closes at 9, or they stop feeding, cooking. Yeah. What am I trying to say here? You have to put your order in by like 8:30 because they close at 9, which on a weekend for a place to close that early is unusual around here. Usually people stay open to 10 or 11, but this is a family-owned joint, I believe, so I am totally on board with people being home for the kids. You know what I mean? So we went in. It's a cute place. I mean, really nicely decorated. And my niece is there with her boyfriend, Xavier, and they've already, you know, started looking at the menu. My mom and I got there, I don't know, within the right time. And we're sitting there, and the menu is extensive. I mean, there were pages and pages. you know, all this, for those of you that like sushi, there's like the sushi rolls, and, you know, there's just so much to choose from. And then they had a whole page of a whole couple of pages of drinks, and they had a whole couple of pages of appetizers, and then they had hibachi on top of that. So if you don't like, you know, sushi, you could have hibachi. And so yeah, we were really indecisive. Everything looked good, and my niece is acting really silly. Like, I don't know what she was just acting weird, and I thought, oh no, what is going on? Because the waitress came back a few times to ask them stuff, and I thought, they better not have some guy jumping out of a cake, because that, your girl didn't like, I don't like that kind of stuff. I mean, it would be funny, but it would make me really uncomfortable. Let's just put it that way. So I thought, well, I'm not having a milestone birthday either. You know, like, I just finished a decade type thing. So you know, I don't know what I was expecting or not expecting. I figured they'd maybe sing me happy birthday or something like that. So we're sitting there, and I look at my niece, and I said, Caitlin? And she looks at me, you know, and I helped raise her. So I've known of her and her shenanigans from way back. And she looks me in the eye. She goes, well, Xavier has a very specific order that he likes, and it's really complicated. And just the way she said it, I wasn't buying it. So I looked at her and I said, little girl, did you forget that I can tell when you're lying? And her face turns bright red, and she had a coat with a hood. She just like hid herself under the hood. It was so funny. And she's like, no, and she's giggling. Everybody's laughing at the table. And again, I don't know what's up. I just know that something is up. And then the waitress comes back again, and she's, you know, showing my mom something on the phone screen. And they're all freaking out. And I'm thinking, what is going on? She's like, are you sure you want to order this? And my mom's eyes get real wide, and she's like, yes, that's what we want to order. I'm like, oh, Xavier's special order? And they're all laughing. And by the time I say that, I hear this voice next to me. And I know this voice. And it says, yes, that's the order. Did somebody say sushi? Or I forget what was said. And I look up, and I'm looking at my dad. And I almost fell over, because my dad lives in Michigan and I live in Texas. He flew in for the night for my birthday. It was a big surprise. And I mean, I could not, I'm still right now, I'm like speechless. I was so surprised, and then tears, because I was so excited to see him. And he says to me, well, that right there was worth running through 2 airports. Well, apparently there was weather everywhere, and he had a hard time getting into town. But he made it. He made it just in the nick of time. And then when now I'm putting this on, as you can see on the last link, just like this. Yeah, so the people come over that have the restaurant, and they're like, it's her birthday, and he's surprising. He's like, I decided to fly in from Michigan to surprise my daughter. And I mean, I was still in disbelief and tears. And everybody was just laughing, and we got you, and they got me all right. I think I may have to redo this. One of the things you got to do on these is make sure that your little piece hangs in the right end. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's hanging. We have to redo that. Let me get the other one on first, though. But anyway, yeah, big surprise, and I couldn't believe it. So, the restaurant then brought me cake, which my mom had brought cake. There's a restaurant near, we have really great grocery stores here. We're very lucky. And this particular restaurant, why I keep saying restaurant, grocery store has these really yummy cake. It's like a very, very light, almondy kind of flavored cake. Very light. And then they have this fresh blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries in it. So we had that at my sister's apartment, which this restaurant is like in her parking lot, pretty much. So that was perfect. We went to her place, and we hung out, and it was also, incidentally, the first time she's ever met him. It's a long story, but it was just amazing. Yeah, now I see that these are not hanging exactly right. So I'm not going to fix them now, but I will before I post this. But I just want you to see. So this jump ring right here is on the top of that link. It needs to be on the bottom so that it hangs like this one. So here's this one, and here's this one. Now, normally when I do something like this, I have something called a chainstay that I can prop this up and have it hanging as I'm working on it. But I don't have the equipment to be high enough up to show you that on camera. So I had to do it laying down. Well, it's not a big deal to redo it. And then this wire wrap also, I may have to fix that as well. Or then maybe I can just twist the wire. But as for the sake of time, I'm going to just leave this just so you can, you get the idea of the focal piece. So for now, we're done with that piece. Everything else now is going to be the part of the necklace. And so what I have to decide now is just what order I want to do my links in. So I'm going to put this to the side. And yeah, just so it's out of the way. And we're going to start working with some of these beads as links. So I definitely know I want to use these guys. So pretty. I do want to grab some more of these pretty blush pearls. I think my light just fell. Some of these. So anyway, I've never been that surprised in my life. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. And my family was real happy that they got one over on me. And they'd been planning it for a month. A month. So, great birthday. Never would have thought. I'm going to hold these off for earrings, possibly. Oh, let me back out. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just lining up. So each one of these is going to be a link. And I'm going to use some bead caps too. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I love these, but they're the big hole beads, so I don't know. Don't think that's going to make a very good link. Unless I might make a longer... I thought about doing like something like this. I might make a longer link. That's what I'll do. Longer link there. So most of these will be individual, but not all of them. Which also will be interesting, I think. I want to use these sparkly guys. Let's see. Oh, we've got these pretty squares too. Oops. Hello. Pretty squares. So maybe we'll put those down here. The nice thing about doing like the links like this is you can make it really long. I'm going to save these links. This came in the mix for either a bracelet or some earrings because I do want to mix those up. I'm going to also save these. Kind of, I don't know. They're not really a teardrop shape, but they're cool. We got the soft pink here. Maybe we'll put those up there. I'm going to save those wood beads. I think I'm going to save these drops too for earrings. So I think, and then there's one little cute enameled flower. Maybe we'll do that on a bracelet. I also have these rondelles. Well, let's see how long this is, because it does get long when you start making links. So basically, we're going to attach whatever links to the tops of this metal piece here, and gravity pretty much will take hold of it. So like I said, I have a whole bunch of this is the 20 gauge wire, which is what I like to wire wrap beads with, and I just made a whole bunch. I don't think I might have enough, we'll see. But it's basically, you're just going to keep making links, and you're going to attach each link to each link, if that makes sense. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to do this side, and I'll do this side off camera, so that you're not watching me have to do all of this. That'll take too long. But you basically just do your wire wrap loop like you would if you were making earrings or anything else. And then you're gonna, and I like to decide how many wraps so they're consistent, and I'm gonna do 2 wraps on each one. Okay, and then I'm just gonna neaten that up a bit. And you could attach it right to your metal piece, but I think it hangs better if you use a jump ring here. So I'm not going to attach it yet. I'm just making the side of the necklace. All right, so bead number 1 is going to be this pretty leaf. Just like this. And we're going to wire wrap the other side. And we're doing 2 wraps. You want your loops to go in the same direction. But if you, and that's if you do all round beads, because pretty much that's going to be the whole side of this necklace. This is the only flat one we're doing, flat piece. And it's going to spin around. Now, if you don't want it to spin around, then you have to come behind it with wire and attach. I think I've showed that before. But basically, you just put the wire back to the back and attach it on the other side, and then it won't spin. And actually, I said 2 wraps, but I do need to make it 3 here. But we're going to try for 2 on most things. So really, you can get into like a rhythm. I like to do this in front of the TV because it's pretty repetitive. You just lay your beads out how you want them, and you just go start wire wrapping like crazy. So here's one link, and I've started with this link. Now we're going to start attaching as we make links. So we've got this pretty cube, crystal cube, and we're going to make another link. But this time we're going to attach it to that one before we close it. So I am going to straighten these. So you've got your bent nose, and then your round nose. You could even mark on your round nose if you want all your loops to be the same, you know, or you could use bail making, the bail making pliers to make sure everything is uniform. I kind of eyeball it. So now I've opened up this little loop, and I'm attaching the one link to the other. And this is pretty much what we're going to do the whole way. I will go back and make sure no pieces of wire sticking up, because you don't want to poke anybody, including yourself. I mean, I do check it as I'm making it, but so now I have this really pretty cube. And I'm so excited that they're kind of at an angle like that. That's really cool. I like that. So I'm going to come in here, make another loop. Looks like the bottom is going to be 2 loops and the top's going to be 3 loops. I'm okay with that. All right, so now we have those. You just keep going. Now remember, this is the one you don't want to close because we're going to attach it. So you're just going to make your loop, open it up, grab your links that you already have connected. Now you're attaching this link. I love to do this for bracelets too. This is a great way to practice your loops and your wire wrapping, because that's all you're doing. Okay. Now we got our boho bead. Gorgeous. Whoops. And see how that moves now? Man, look at that crystal. That's really fun, because I love that this is at an angle or on the diagonal. I think that the light really plays with those facets nicely. Just keep in mind you want your loops to be going in the same direction for each bead, or each section, I should say, because you can have more than one bead. So that's where you can play around with patterns and things like that. You could do an entire station of beads, which I think looks really cool, or just an individual bead, which, you know, if you got the big boho beads that come in these mixes, they're so beautiful. You kind of do want to feature them by giving them their own little spot. All right, so this is the one where I wanted to make one long piece, and I think I'm gonna need a longer wire for that than I was originally using, because originally I was gonna make everything individual. So I just want to make sure I'm gonna have enough wire. I'm sure this is more than enough, but make sure that, oh, the other thing I did is I made sure my ends were flush. Just, that's a nice step to take, that, because these can get really sharp. You don't want to poke yourself. I've done that numerous times, and it is not fun. All right, so let's see, we're going to do our loop. Okay, now we gotta make sure that stays open. Just like that. Add our boho bead. I have a visitor. Ginger's come in here. It's almost dinner time for them, so she's like, "Where's my dinner?" "You get dinner in a minute, honey." Just wagged her tail at me like, "Okay, Mom." Yeah, I got to meet my niece's cat too. I'm allergic to cats, but I do like them and they love me. They don't understand why I don't want their attention. But she has a beautiful cat named Biz. Business, but she calls him Biz. And he is a black and white, almost like a tuxedo cat. And I mean, he's bigger than my dogs. He's a pretty solid kitty cat, but very friendly, very sweet. Yeah, I can't believe my dad was here. It's just amazing. Okay, I am going to use a bead cap. I think part of me still doesn't believe it, and it happened a week ago. But he did tell me that the look on my face was worth all the craziness. I don't know why, but he took Southwest Airlines. He had to fly down to, I guess because of the weather, to fly down to Florida, which I've never done when I've gone to see him. And then he had to go through somewhere else. Whew, it just sounded like a mess. But he made it. I couldn't believe it. So that what they were showing the waitress was his order, because they were closing the kitchen and he had taken an Uber. Oh, look at that. Oh, there we go. I didn't think that was going to fit. And he was telling he asked the Uber driver, could he get him here fast? He goes, "No, I'm not telling you to speed, but there might be some extra bucks in it for you if you get me there." And I think the guy, I don't know what nationality he was, but he was like, had an accent because my dad imitated him. He said, "I will get you there. That will be safe for you and for me." It's something like that. It was funny. But then, yeah, it was a really quick trip. He couldn't stay, so he was gone. He was home the next day. I only saw him that one, for dinner and then over at my niece's. So I told him, I said, he and my bonus mom, Norma Jean, because she stayed home, need to come visit, for longer. And it was 10 degrees, like I said. So I asked him, did he bring the wet and winter weather with him for Michigan? Pretty funny. But if you're ever in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, namely like McKinney area, McKinney, Plano, Allen, do check out Sushi Sakura, or Sakura, I think was the name of it. And I mean, those people were delightful. The food was wonderful. And I have to say, they gave me a little piece of cheesecake, and that, for a hibachi restaurant that has sushi, that was really a good, tasty little piece of cheesecake. So yeah, I'm spoiled. And then my coworker had a baby. I forgot to take that end off. She had a 10-pound boy. Third baby. So she's gone for maternity leave. Cute baby. She posted pictures. He's adorable. I'm trying to remember what she named him. And now I can't remember. I found out a lot of people that watch this channel are Capricorns. Totally awesome. I love that. Again, thank you. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. They were fabulous. So look, well, here's what we have so far. See how quick that comes? It kind of works up fast. I mean, you've got, you know, a nice long strand. This can be as long as you want. And you know, it's up to you. I like to do a bunch and then I'll do chain because you're not going to see the back of the necklace anyway. And then you can finish off with the chain. So it makes it a nice layering piece as well. So I think I'm going to do another station of 3. I do want some bead caps. I love the wood beads, and I think they look really cool with bead caps. Isn't that pretty? These are just some I had in my stash left over from other boxes. And maybe we'll do a smaller bead cap. And these pretty pink beads. It's like, why is that crooked? Okay. I think I'm going to do these 3 and we'll call it quits on this side. I'll do the other side and then we'll put the necklace together. It'll look really cool. Need a little help. Boop. Boop. And boop. All right. Cool. So I'm going to do the other side off camera, just so you're not sitting here watching me make a bunch of loops. I think you get the idea. And it's super easy. Like I said, playing around with how many you put on there, and you can like vary it, do 3 and 3 and 3 individual beads, you know, whatever pattern or way that you want to do that. It looks really nice. And you can also do them all individually and then do a jump ring in between. I've seen that done before, and that also looks nice. So if you've never done this before, try it both ways, see which one you like. There are lots of different variations, so I really do like doing wire wrap necklaces, and then you can layer strung things with it, you know, etc., etc. So I'll be back in just a second for you. It's going to be more like 10 minutes for me. And we'll put in the necklace, the rest of it, all together and take a look. So stay tuned. Okay, everybody. So I went ahead and did the other side of the necklace with our wire wrapping. I think it looks great. And we're going to attach everything now. So I've already pre-cut how long I wanted the back end of the necklace to be, and we're just literally going to be attaching the chain to the top. I have a lobster claw clasp here, and I also have a ring that we're going to use for the lobster claw. And then we're going to attach the bottom piece. And actually, I think I'll do the bottom piece first. I just realized I need another. Do I need another? Yeah. I'm missing some what am I missing? You guys, my brain stopped working. More jump rings for over here to attach now you could attach this right to your component that you made. That's up to you. I like the way it swings better when it's attached with a jump ring. That's why I'm doing that. But that is completely up to you. So let's attach the bottom. Okay. So I've added my jump ring to the edge of this. And we're just gonna attach. We'll do the other side. Actually, I think I'm gonna do it this way. All right, so that's attached. Now we're going to attach, let me move this down just a bit. So we're going to attach our chain like that. Got to find where the little opening is. Might as well add the... Now you could do an extender chain if you wanted, but this is pretty long, so I'm not going to add one. But you could if you wanted to, and this would be where you would do that. You could also put the other side of a toggle clasp instead of the link and attach it with a jump ring. Sometimes you lose those little toggles, or sometimes I feel like the toggle clasp might not stay, but I'll keep that round piece. And that's if I can get the lobster claw to go around it, I'll use it, you know, as a piece like that. Now we're doing the other side. Looking good. Here's our lobster claw. I have a lot coming at you this week, so buckle up. A lot. And shout out to my mom, who has been helping me get organized in here because it was getting a little overwhelming. I didn't realize how overwhelmed I was, but she's done a lot for me this weekend, and I appreciate it. She always does stuff for me. I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I have a mom and a bonus mom, and lots of aunts, and lots of cousins. And a niece I adore, so, and nephews I adore. Look at that. Do we like this? Let me pull it out. So you can see, I am gonna fix how these are hanging, but you get the gist. But once I get it on a bust or something, I'll be able to fix it. But I like the way that turned out a lot. I love the beads. This is a great way to highlight like beautiful boho beads like this. If you really want the beads to stand out, Doing little stations like this, and giving them space around them by doing the wire wrapping, they stand out a little bit more, don't they? I think they do. So it's a thought. And this also makes a very nice bracelet. And I love the tassel piece too. I like that. And this boho bead is incredible. It needed to be a focal point. So with that, I'm going to say good evening. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my crazy birthday story. I've never been so surprised. I don't think I've ever been surprised like that. Like, to where I was literally speechless. And y'all know me. I don't have a problem talking. So I was so floored. But what an amazing surprise pulled off by my family. And it was one of the best things ever. I felt so loved, honestly. Which I don't want to get all verklempt, but there it is. So, and then on top of all the sweet comments from you guys, I was just feeling, I was dancing on area last week. So thanks for watching again. This was week 3. We have 7 more weeks of the Goddess series to go. I did organize them all this weekend into little containers. So they're all ready to go, and I'm loving it so far. I hope you're enjoying it, and it gives you inspiration. And like I said, there's a whole bunch of videos coming at you this week. And I've started to get some books in that I ordered. I remember I mentioned I was gonna do some book reviews on beaded jewelry. Some of the books that are out there, and I've started getting a few. So maybe in the next month or so, I'll feature one on the channel and let you know what I think of it. So with that, I'm going to say good evening. Hope you're having a wonderful day, evening, whenever you're watching this. Be safe, stay warm, take care of your sweet selves and your families, and I will see you on the next video.